Hey, what's up, boils and ghouls? We're back for another year of Fright Fest. I am Mike, but first I want to introduce not Rosemary's Baby, my baby, living dead girl herself. This is Patience. Welcome back to the show. How have you been?
So good. Waiting for this.
Yeah, well, guys, in case you don't know, if it's your first time visiting the channel, we do this every single year. Wife's not a huge horror fan. She says she's not. But she's watched more horror movies than most people I know at this point. What we do every single year is in October, or pretty much it's become like the first day of fall, kind of a week into November. Just kind of, we watch some scary movies because this is the time of year where everybody needs one good scare. And we go through and we select a bunch of movies, we vote on them, the order that we're going to watch them, and this is where we reveal what those movies are. So I guess really I got to say, we're going to be starting this year actually with a couple that aren't on here because it's going to be cinematic releases. We will be beginning on the 12th, we'll be going seeing Conjuring 4, is it Last Rites? Conjuring Last Rites, and Stephen King's The Long Walk. So those will actually kind of be kicking off things. But as far as the ones we're going to be watching from home, that's what we're going to be talking about today. And what are you just excited about for this spooky season versus other years?
Oh, I don't know. We have we've kind of done a lot of reach back on this one where we're not doing a lot of recent movies. And it's nice to get some of those classics off our list.
Yeah, I think so. We started watching those In Search of Darkness documentaries, and I think they gave us some ideas of a couple of things that maybe we wouldn't have given consideration in the past. But what we're going to do, we're going to talk about each one, and we're going to talk about who picked it. You had number one pick this year, and what was your pick?
My pick was Watchers.
Now, this is by Miss M. Night Shyamalan. I apologize, I don't know her first name.
Yeah, it
but this is
too.
one. You watch the trailer. It looks like an M. Night movie. So, what made you pick this one?
I liked it. I was intrigued by the forest. You know, we watched that other movie with the guys going through the forest, and I like that aspect of it. It alludes, I think, maybe to aliens. I'm not really sure. So there was, and I really enjoyed No One Will Save You last year, and the kind of alien twist on that. So I don't know. There's some things that really captivated me.
And so it's kind of iffy with me. I don't know. It looks. It could be one thing. Maybe it's just the M. Night thing. I think Shyamalan, he's brilliant, and I don't want to just put this all over. This is his wife. Stop doing that. I'm not trying to be that. This book was by Stephen King's wife. I'm not trying to be that guy. I haven't seen anything by her or really am familiar with her work. So I don't know. But yeah, I think maybe I'm going into it with those Shyamalan expectations of it's going to be bloody brilliant, and the execution's going to be awesome, and the ending's going to make me go, you didn't have to go there. So maybe that's some of those.
I love it when people go there.
You like it when people go there.
I
Okay.
do.
Well, you know what? I like it when we go somewhere. Is I have been showing you a lot of Robert De Niro movies lately because he's a man's man, and I love me some De Niro. So, of course, I want to make my wife love all the things that I love. And what I said about De Niro is I feel like you haven't disliked any of the movies, but you haven't loved any of them.
I'll say they've all been quality movies, but none of them are like rolling around in my head 4 days later type thing.
I don't know if this is going to be the one that changes you, but I said I've got another De Niro movie that's a really, really classic, I think. I don't know, I haven't seen it in like 30 years, but I picked Cape Fear because I think this is when you have that rare instance where the remake is better than the original. And maybe that's De Niro bias. I just remember De Niro and Nolte are amazing in this. And I think watching that trailer, it was very 90s, so I was very interested to see that you had it so high on your list as well.
I'll say it was probably the second highest on my list. So when you picked it, I was like, awesome, because I didn't know how interested you'd be to go back and rewatch that.
Oh, for sure. I think with this one is what I keep telling you is no matter how bad you think it's going to be, you're not ready.
Okay.
Again, that's in my memory. You know, I was a teenage boy when I saw this, and maybe I got freaked out because I had a prank caller one time call me, tell me he was watching me. Maybe that's what got me. Maybe it was during that same time
You should have been
period.
freaked out.
So that was my number one pick. What was your next pick?
Caddo Lake.
Caddo Lake.
I'm a hometown girl. It's a Texas-based movie. That's pretty much all it took for me.
I thought it was Louisiana. Is it Texas?
It's Texas. Caddo Lake is the only natural lake in Texas, if that's the one they're referencing, which I'm pretty sure it is. And I love things that have to do with. It looks like time manipulation. It might be alternate universe. Hard to say.
There's some kind of time rip or something. This has got Thomas from Maze Runner. I didn't know he was.
No,
I didn't recognize him with the beard. But
all grown up, yeah.
Watching Maze Runner with our oldest right now, and I'm like, oh yeah, hey, good for him. Yeah, I think this one that like we actually saw the trailer for this after spooky season last year. We said we got to put that on the list as a contender next year.
Yeah, I'm always keeping a horror hopeful.
I think we saw a trailer on it, like HBO Max. It just starts, you might also like, and that's one of those that came up. So yeah, it looks. Of all these on the list, that's the one I'm most intrigued about by the trailer because I love a good time slip, alternate reality, whatever it's playing with here. If it's done right, It's usually pretty good. It's just time travel. Sometimes it's really, really good. What was my next pick? Oh, my pick is going to be, everyone's asking me, Mike, why haven't you gone and seen Weapons? We know how much you liked Barbarian, and I showed you Barbarian recently to see if I thought that you would be interested in this. So this is in the theater right now, but these days everything comes on digital in like 3 weeks. So I said, hey, why don't we just wait and do this for spooky season? And I've heard really good things. I'll be honest. I do not like Julia Garner as an actress. I think she's one of those, we all have that one actress where they're not necessarily bad. There's just something about them that doesn't click with you. She ruined Ozark for me, and I'm hoping that doesn't ruin this movie for me, but I will give it a chance.
As a casual Ozark viewer, she didn't bother me,
She
but
was awful.
I'm intrigued with, the teacher aspect of it.
Sure.
That intrigues me in this. I don't know, like, if I wasn't complacent, I don't know how I'd react if my whole class went missing.
Right, and just your class. That's
Yeah,
what's really
I'd definitely be a little tortured by that.
With something like this, I think it just goes into how big of a twist do you have in your story. So I always worry that you're going to try to M. Night it. Again, I like M. Night Shyamalan, but it has become a verb at this point where it's like, hey, yeah, that's something you can do to your movies. I think that with this, after Barbarian, I said that was one of the most unique horror movies I've seen in a long time. And even though it didn't do anything like bloody brilliant or something, I really enjoyed it. And I thought it was going to mess you up more than it did. But I said I'd give anything he did after that a try. So that's why I picked this one. And obviously it's new and everybody's excited about it. What you got? Oh, we're hitting the A24s early this year.
Oh, is Heretic an A24?
Heretic is an A24.
I could kind of have that taste from the trailer. I can see where that is.
I gotta say, I'm excited to see Hugh Grant making such a big comeback.
Hugh Grant's not one of my favorites yet. I picked it.
He kind of dropped off the face of the earth. He got in some trouble there in the 90s, and I think that he went from like A-list actor to kind of like off the radar. But I think when he came back and he started playing like villains in a lot of these movies, he's playing a villain in Dungeons and Dragons. He was really good in that.
He's very smarmy.
Even though that was very tongue in cheek, but he was so good at
it.
But I've seen him popping up a lot lately, and this is one I hadn't really heard of until I just said, hey, you guys give me some recommendations for some horror movies of the last like 5 years, and this one came up a lot. So is this the like escape room one?
No. This is the two, I don't know if they're Jehovah's Witnesses, but two people proselytizing, and Hugh Grant invites them in, and then maybe it's an escape room.
Yeah, I think at the end it like zooms out and it shows the attic, and it was
it's
like a
maze.
labyrinth. Yeah, so kind of escape roomy.
I don't know if anybody gets to escape.
Yeah,
I think you
is it like Jigsaw? It's like if you win the game, you get out. If you don't, you get dead.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm surprised you picked this so early, because with us, A24 can sometimes be an absolute home run, and it can be like pure dog shit.
Well, I just looked at my rankings and what was next highest, and also like what are the movies we picked before and what's the tone going to be. I don't want to do 2 long ones or 2 time travel ones back to back, One I've seen the movie poster for a lot, and I always thought it was Margot Robbie. She looks a lot like Margot Robbie, and we said that when we were watching the trailer. But a book I really like is called The Most Dangerous Game. It's where, a bunch of rich people release people into the forest and they can hunt them. And that's what this kind of reminded me of. Maybe a little bit of dark humor. Kind of has that Tarantino film. It's definitely got a dark quality to it.
So Ready or Not is one I've heard about a ton. And like I said, I always see the movie trailer, the poster, and I'm like, that looks kind of, I don't know if I say like art house, but it kind of looks almost like that Grindhouse kind of feel. The poster kind of looks like it, but the trailer looked like after maybe some of these heavier movies, Weapons, Heretic, maybe we could use something with a little bit of laughs in it.
Yeah.
It looks like it's got some laughs in it.
Yeah.
And I do like a good, hey, you got one person in a house and there's a bunch of people trying to get them. You're just trying to either get out or fight your way out. I've heard it's very fun, and I think that we can use a fun movie. It looks like
a fun dark comedy, and that's really my jam.
All right, next up.
The Substance.
The Substance. Okay, now this one could go either way for me.
I didn't know it was a horror movie. I thought it was like like a Demi Moore social commentary type movie. I think it might actually skew that way.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be talking about it, because I think it's like she's too old to be a lead actress anymore, right? Yeah. You get a certain age, and they say once you're over 40, you can't be a lead actress anymore.
You can be the grandma.
So it might be, you could be playing the tired mom or the tired grandma. The grandma at 40?
Yeah.
Dang.
How old do you think the Golden Girls were?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think about, when I was growing up in 90210, they had 28-year-old teenagers. So it's like, we're going the other way now? Okay. Yeah. All right.
No, and for some reason, I'm looking at my notes, and I have, so I know it's a split, right? Like a two-faced.
2 actors.
Janice
Andy
type
McDowell's
thing.
daughter,
but it's like one personality, one body, two personalities. I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out if it's
But I
actually
have
two different
in
people.
my notes like a 7, and I don't know. I can't remember why I put that there. So I'm interested to watch just to see what was I thinking in my notes.
I think it looks like you drink the substance and it makes you younger, but I think maybe it makes you younger, but that person like splits off of you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always say you never see them in the same place at the
But
same time. It doesn't look
think
like it looks like she's still struggling. So maybe you go back and forth.
Or maybe it was like 7 hours in this body, 7 hours in that body. Maybe that's why I wrote the 7. I don't know. But I'm like looking at my notes and I'm like, what was I writing a 7 for?
No idea. I think it's the time of the list where I say, hey, we got some Stephen King here, and I can't believe it took me this long to get it. A huge Stephen King fan, obviously. And hopefully it goes better than last year's, because last year's was Salem's Lot. Remember, that's what kicked us off. It was like Salem's Lot last year.
It started strong.
Yeah. If you haven't read Salem's Lot, it probably wasn't awful. This one is The Monkey.
I hadn't read it, and that ending.
They watch too many MCU movies. The Monkey is one that, like, look, I'm going to be straight, and this might make some people flip the table at this point in the video. I hated Long Legs. Yeah. It was the worst movie we watched last year for me.
I don't agree, but yeah.
I thought Long Legs was terrible. And this is Osgood Perkins? It's a guy from Psycho's dad, or his kid. He did Long Legs. He also did this movie. Anyway, Perkins, director Perkins. Anyhow, he did Long Legs, so this kind of scared me a little bit. The trailer looks interesting because it looks like it's just embracing the campy humor of it. So again, maybe we could use a laugh a little bit at this point. But just, I'm thinking the guy that made Long Legs doesn't look like he's a barrel full of laughs. You know, maybe as he grew up in the shadow of, hey, my dad, was, you know, maybe. I don't know. But it's Stephen King. It gets watched. You know, I read the short story
I was to say,
years ago. So it could be completely
and it does
like
look
it,
like from the trailer, it could go dark comedy. Like, it looks like it could lean either way, but it also looked like it had some flashback time jump type
I saw one
things.
part where, like, the stripper's, like, looking between her legs and she's got the monkey head. And I'm like, okay, this could be goofy. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be ridiculous. It could be completely just over the top. But again, it's Stephen King. And what do you follow up a Stephen King with?
Apparently more Stephen King.
More Stephen King.
What's better than one Stephen King?
I don't know if 2 Stephen Kings. It depends. Which 2 Stephen Kings are you getting? Getting like full of blow 2 Stephen Kings, or are you getting like, you know, post-accident 2 Stephen Kings?
Well, they have very different feels too. Like going from the monkey to the boogeyman.
The boogeyman.
And I know the boogeyman, I think, was contender last year and got passed over. And you know, I probably kind of passed over because it looked pretty scary. I don't care to be scared.
It's gonna. I feel like this is the movie that's good, where Stephen King can say, "Hey, they joked about this on, I think it was The Simpsons, maybe The Simpsons, or it might have been Family Guy, where they're like, Stephen King's talking to his publisher and like, what are you doing? He's like, this lamp will scare you, ooh."
Yeah.
And the boogeyman is like going to make you scared of these little glow crystal ball things. Because that little crystal ball coming under the bed.
Oh, I thought it was supposed to make me scared of the dark because the little girl's scared of the
Well, you're
dark.
already scared of the dark, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So, all right. So this might play on it. So I mean, the boogeyman, that's classic. I have not read this short story, so I might read it real fast beforehand, or I might just go in blind, so I'm not just sitting there critiquing it the whole time. But I know you love it when I tell you. Well, in the book,
About as much as you love it when I tell you why.
It's true. She made Percy Jackson just like a struggle. Then I read Percy Jackson. I was like, you were justified. You were vindicated. Okay, well, so my next pick here, this is one that's like, I can't believe she made me wait a year to do this, because we watched Terrifier last year, and you were terrified. Ish. You did better than I thought you would, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean,
the gore is never going to be my jam.
Yeah, but the slicing down the middle
Yeah.
part, that was something, wasn't it? How do you follow that up with Terrifier 2? I don't know. It looks like it's going a little more cosmic with this. It's an explanation for Art the Clown. I know that really bugged you about
really
the ending.
bothered me at the end.
So I think maybe we'll have to, I don't know, maybe do like a ending explained video or something like that, maybe.
Maybe could give that a chance.
Because what we were talking about before we were recording was, I think it was just such a throwback to 80s slasher horror. And what they would always do is like, hey, you know, we just killed Freddy or Jason, but hey, look at this little playhouse, a light came on. That means Freddy's still alive. They never had to explain it. It was just, oh, they could still be alive. They just leave the door open for a sequel.
When they do explain it, it's awful anyway. Because, you know,
it's horror. This isn't Emmy Award writing.
Yeah.
So I think with something like this, which again was very much a love letter to just, you know, slasher horror, you never really had to have. It wasn't about the story. Art has an incredible look. I mean, to create a new horror icon today is actually quite impressive.
Fair.
That you're seeing him on posters with Chucky and Pinhead and Freddy. That's that's incredible, that ascension that he's had so quick. And I think it's because these movies, apparently, this is going to have a bigger budget, that first one, because that was like an indie thing. This clearly looks like it has a bigger budget.
Yeah, well,
the trailer looks very strange.
I actually was a little intrigued by the brother-sister relationship in this.
I don't remember that. I just remember him being very weird, and he's got glasses, and they're like on a stage show or something. I don't know. It looked weird.
The brother?
No, Art.
Art, yes. Yes, that was odd. There was like a kid's show aside. I don't know.
So I will be honest. I'm a little worried it's going to go A24. It's going to get artsy on me. I'm a little afraid of that.
You should be.
I am a little afraid because I love the first one because it was just an unapologetic slasher film. It didn't need any explanation. It'd just be scary, be creepy, freak me out. It surprised me once in a while, like when he had a gun. That surprised me because these guys never have guns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Surprised me a little bit. But, keep all the nice gooey gore scenes so my wife can actually cover her eyes like she did when we were watching The Ruins the other night.
I just looked away.
Yeah, that's the way that we do it. So I'm excited for that because I feel like you're already scared of it, and you'll need something very funny of it. Very funny afterwards, right? After Terrifier, and that's why you picked your next pick?
Oh, yes. Yes, it is.
I've never seen this one. She has.
So, yeah, I love Bruce Willis, and so I've, of course, seen Death Becomes Her. And when I found out he had it, I'm like, well, it's on the list.
I love Goldie. So
I love me some Goldie Hawn, yeah.
I'm surprised I haven't seen it.
And it is just fun, dark comedy.
Yeah, the trailer looked very Beetlejuicy. I think it is, not just because it had the Beetlejuice music in it, but it looks very Tim Burton. It like a little bit of, I'll say camp, but like fun camp, like a Tim Burton movie would have. Like I see, like he's got the hole in her, and the other one's head's like backwards and all that stuff. Like Smile, but it's not taking itself as seriously as Smile did.
Well, Smile should have took itself seriously.
So you think after Terrifier, this was strategic placement. You thought you might need something funny, something bright, something cartoony.
And also some Bruce Willis.
But he's got hair.
Yeah. I grew up on him.
Moonlighting Bruce Willis. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's not that hard of a sell for me.
Okay.
I do prefer bald Bruce Willis.
I'm really worried Bruce is going to be the next one to go.
I am too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've lost some icons this year. And I think he can't even remember his name,
that
he was an actor.
Yeah, he's not doing well.
That's sad. That's sad. I think not last, but 2 years ago we watched Wreck.
Yes.
All right, so a couple years ago, I've gotten real bad about. I am tired of found footage movies. They're boring. They're lazy.
Wreck was so good though.
Wreck was good, and I thought, okay, well, maybe that might get me out of my funk. But yet, I think last year we did Creep 2, and that's why we said we were going to keep it one found footage movie per year.
Yes.
So there's no oversaturation.
You get a little burnout on it, yeah. Ugh, Creep 2.
So this year I decided to go with Hill House LLC because I've heard so much about it. It's like simple. There's a haunted house, but hey, there's actually ghosts and some weird kind of shit in there, like werewolves or something. I don't know.
It's supposed to be like ghost facers.
You think like ghost facers?
Why are you laughing?
Ghost facers, because I haven't thought about that in a minute. That's from Supernatural.
You're not thinking about Supernatural.
I don't really know what to say about found footage. It's like, hey, they make a haunted house for entertainment purposes, and it turns out to actually be a haunted house. I mean, that's a lot of those VHS vibes, V/H.
Yeah.
Some of those vibes, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if I was.
They've made 3 of these.
If I was going to be a murderer, I'd murder you in the haunted house.
Because people just think it's someone acting.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know where I'm going to call on this one. I've heard some people say it's like one of the best at this, and these other ones are just like it's just highbrow, pretentious douchebaggery. So we'll see. You don't have to try too hard to. Look, thing about found footage is I'm tired of it. It can freak you out a little bit. You feel like you're always in these closed corridors. You're always freaked out.
Some of them are really good. You still, I think Paranormal Activity still bothers you. You still make me get in bed.
But Paranormal Activity is a different beast. We'll talk about that one because we might one of these years we might do a paranormal retrospective and just like burn through all of them and just watch.
Just do the odds?
The odds, because the evens always ended up sucking, which is really strange. Okay, this one, your pick. I was actually surprised that you picked this one.
Late Night with the Devil. I more than likely just what I liked best and what was left on the list.
I don't know his name, but the guy who's playing the talk show host on that, he's been in like a million things lately. He's always been like a Denny V guy. But he's popping up in a lot of things lately. He was on Murderbot. He was in Dune. Like I say, he's been in a lot of Denny V movies.
We just saw him in something else too.
Life of Chuck. He was in Life of Chuck briefly.
Yes,
kind of a cameo. Yeah. But Late Night with the Devil, I think this one would be more interesting for you because you watched late night TV as a kid. I didn't miss Johnny Carson.
I loved me some Johnny Carson.
I never watched Letterman. I never watched that.
I did the top 10 list.
I was a Sports Center guy at 11 o'clock at night. I didn't
have bedtimes.
Yeah. So it's a neat idea. I guess it's just like there was an exorcism on live TV or they need an exorcism on live TV because it's going crazy.
It is.
So it's I don't know. I like the way they set it up to look like it was real. So I guess would you call this found footage? Not really. It's like it's just like buried footage. It happened on late night TV, and we just kind of try to bury that it ever happened because nobody was watching, like public access days.
I don't know.
Looks creepy.
It looks creepy.
But I love that aesthetic. You know, something I love about the Conjuring movies is putting them in the 60s and 70s and seeing the clothing and the hairstyles and stuff. And they look like they're doing it really well.
And then it has a little bit of the Exorcist vibe in it, especially with the girl. And then, that
just on live
period
TV
piece part I thought was interesting.
Could be really great. Could be a disaster. You might take away my horror card when you hear this one, guys. I think I've said this last year. I have never seen The Fly.
Have you seen the 50s one?
Yeah.
I've seen the 50s one. And I've seen the 80s one.
I feel like I know enough of this from pop culture.
Yeah.
Be afraid, be very afraid. I know the ending. I know certain parts of the movie, just because of pop culture. But I definitely feel like this is what I got to get up. It's Corman. I know it's going to be disgusting because all of his movies are disgusting. But that's really not why I watch this one. I like Jeff Goldblum a lot. I mean, who didn't? Of our generation, who doesn't love a Jeff Goldblum? And I've heard this is one of his better acting performances where he's not just acting like Jeff Goldblum, and I love Gina. Gina's great. So
goals.
This just feels like one of those, like, I have no reason why I haven't seen it. It's just never really happened. It's like Clockwork Orange. It's never happened. I always say I'm going to watch it. I own it. I own the Blu-ray. I think I own 2 copies of Clockwork Orange back there, and I've never watched it.
We'll get it done one year.
And by the way, guys, Clockwork Orange did not make the list again, sadly.
Again.
But you picked one that I've actually been recommending for a while.
The People Under the Stairs, and yes, you've talked about it a lot. I think it took you a while to track it down.
Well, this is Wes Craven, who you love from Scream and Nightmare on Elm Street. Wes Craven, always ahead of the curve. I think when this movie came out, because it is very much social commentary on race relations and things like that. But he always was so ahead of the curve on everything. And it wasn't until Scream where I felt like it was perfect timing. So this is one of those I think you can kind of look back on and say, yeah, he was really trying to say something. Before like Candyman and things like that, he was really getting there before some of these others. But I'm also worried it hasn't aged very well. So we'll see. It freaked me out when when I saw the guy in the Gimp outfit in Pulp Fiction. It made me think of this movie because this movie freaked me out. Look, you should be scared of a guy in a Gimp outfit, a Gimp in that outfit.
Okay, because looking at the trailer, I'm like, do we want to put this on the kids list? But you make it, and then I
watched it when I was their age, and my youngest seems to be a horror fanatic.
Yes,
like I'm worried about him a little bit at this point.
Boy.
But I really liked it then. I know that we both were kind of creeped out by crawl spaces in houses. And this is a big one.
Speaking of supernatural.
This has people living in those crawl spaces. It's very messed up.
Burn it down.
It's very messed up. So I'm hoping it is 90s. In 90s, it can go age really well. And something that can be just like horrible cringe cheese. And the fact that Wes Craven, before he passed away, never really talked about this one very much, has me kind of worried about it in hindsight. So, but he also wasn't real big sharer like that. Yeah, he's just like, I'm going to let my movies do the talking. That was always the kind of type that he was. But he was brilliant. He was an innovator, ahead of his time. What you got next?
No, this is your pick because this is my
lowest. Oh, that's right. I just think because I've been talking about People That Says I picked
for years.
Companion.
This is my lowest rank.
Companion was one that I
go grudgingly.
I know how you feel. Companion was one I hadn't really heard about until really recently. We kept seeing the movie poster and I was like, why does that girl have no eyes? What is it about? And I think she's been in several things recently. I can't think of her name, the actress. But no, it was another one of those that I got recommended to me, and I thought the trailer was interesting. Obviously not very high on the list, but very interesting. I was told that if you go into it knowing nothing, it's better. And I'm not going to tell you guys what that is in case you don't want to know. But we did watch the full trailer, and it did kind of give away something that isn't really implied just in the description. Yeah. And so that's kind of a bummer, but it just kind of looks like kind of makes me think of like the psycho kid in Megan. That's what it kind of makes me think of.
It's the guy from The Boys, Hubie.
Yeah.
Hubie?
I don't know.
That's an awful name.
But he plays a loony apparently in this. And this looks like what I always say about like Chucky movies is like you're always like, oh hey, we're supposed to be rooting for the protagonist, but there's always like that one human you want Chucky to kill. Yes. I kind of feel like that about this guy. I kind of want you to kill this guy.
Get him.
Yeah. Get what? Go on.
Why is he in here?
Go! I'm just don't want him to knock anything over. I don't care if
that's
he comes
why I said get him. Because I don't want him to trip on a cord either. So speaking of hoping things aged well, I think this is one of the pulls from that
In Search of Darkness documentary. Mm-hmm.
from that documentary, and I saw it and I thought it looked good, and I love that actor. And so Innocent Blood
Looks like
piqued my
vampires
interest.
versus like the mafia.
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
a vigilante vampire, and I thought that was pretty badass.
I mean, look, it's not a very hard sell for me to watch a vampire movie, but what really grabs me about this is what they do with the eyes in the movie. This looks freaking amazing. It's just majestic almost. Like I said, some got the green eyes, some got the red eyes. I don't know how
nobody
funny
has
it's going to be.
purple,
It's
right?
got no comment. It's got Don Rickles in it, so I'm like, it's got to be funny, right? It's got to be humorous.
know.
I
I
mean,
think so.
You don't really cast him unless you want to make people laugh. So it's one of those where the trailer is kind of like deceiving. It could be either
It could go-
horror comedy or it could.
Yeah.
You know, again, I don't mind a little camp, and you're dealing with vampire stuff. It's always going to go one way or the other. But I'm hoping it's more horror vampires and less like a vampire in Brooklyn. You know, that's Eddie Murphy. I hope hopefully it's more that way. But the people in that documentary had great things to say about it. So it's got a lot of actors in it I like.
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of got a fun cast at the very least.
You picked a vampire movie. I said I got to pick a vampire movie, and this is another one. I love the comic book called Preacher. And there's a character in that named Cassidy, a vampire in that named Cassidy. Apparently, he was based off of Bill Paxton's character in Near Dark. I don't know a ton about it. I'm really confused because the trailer makes it almost look like a Grindhouse movie, but the actual movie doesn't look like that. But
Okay, because I have it as like, oh, this must be a B-list movie
yeah.
in my notes.
But Bill Paxton, he's a legend, man. He's Chet. Come on, man. From Weird Science. He's
I've never
Chet.
seen Weird Science.
Call yourself a John Hughes fan.
I never said such thing.
Well, I look at it this way: if Pretty in Pink was for the girls, Weird Science was for the boys. That's the way John Hughes did it. I do think, but this one really, again going off that documentary, they had really great things to say about it. And I like Bill Paxton, and I think it's Lance Hendricks. He's in it as well, and it's got some actors I know and like in it. But we're getting closer to the end here, and we already got the last couple. And be honest,
We might
if
not
we
make
don't get to these,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be heartbroken. What did you pick?
I have Bring Her Back. Really?
That's what that trailer did.
Well, so yeah, I'm just going down, and it was one of my lower ranked ones. And out of what was left, I was like, well,
So it's two adopted kids see their stepmother doing some kind of, or stepmother or adoptive
it
mother
looks
doing
like
some
we're
kind
trying
of
to
ritual.
bring somebody back to life.
I don't know. It was like some girl in a bathtub. I don't know.
It looked like, I don't know if like and then it was kind of echoing the foster situation with what I perceived going on in People Under the Stairs. But I don't know if she's fostering kids for their like organs, a sacrifice. I don't know if we're like Frankenstein I don't know.
This has the one where it could be a lot of smelling our own farts, a little artistic douchebaggery.
See, and that's what I feel about your last pick here.
Okay, well, my last pick, which is Oddity. For me, this one's one of those, like, what are you doing? Like, this guy with this creepy eye comes up and is like, hey, let me in or you're going to die. It's like, no, it's let me in and you're going to die. I mean, and we see that this is like a flashback. And so obviously she did let this guy in and killed family members. And I don't know if she's trying to kill him
and
or
that's
trying to.
why she died.
Yeah, I don't know. So
Going back to
interesting enough because I want to see what happened. But again, that guy gave me the willies, like big
Yeah,
time, which
yeah.
these are horror movies. I want that. Feel. It's the kind of horror I like. I want to feel, you get a certain age, I feel like horror movies can't really, well, for me at least, they can't really scare you, but they can make you uncomfortable.
Oh,
and if
yeah.
a movie can make you uncomfortable, like you can't stay away from a train wreck, that's what I'm.
well, and it kind of gave me Barbarian vibes, where that homeless guy ran up on her
Yeah.
and gave the good message, just really
Okay.
failed at delivery.
Okay.
So he might be giving the good message and just really failing at
So
delivery.
she didn't let him in. The killer was already in the house.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It
Good
might-
theory.
Yeah. Stop
So
running up
I
on
know
women
I'm-
alone in
I'm-
parking lots.
I'm here. I am just judging people by the color of their weird eyes. I know. So you got one. You're like the David Bowie thing. You got two different colored eyes. It's
What is it? Tachia? I forget what it's called.
I
It has a name. It has a name.
I gotta hold you at a distance if you're doing that. But that's
I
the
think
list.
it's cool. Come on.
I am very excited. But we're gonna be doing ones with the kids too. But really, this just depends on them. We've got so many, obviously, that we're not gonna like force them to watch stuff.
Actually, you know what? This is the first year. I'm a little concerned we might DNF one. We've never DNF'd one.
Oh, like stop watching it before we're done?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's kind of a concern.
I mean, I tried to with Long Legs last year, and you wouldn't
You
let
did.
me.
You did
I was
try
like,
to.
I don't even want to watch it anymore.
I needed to know the end with the dolls.
I needed that movie not to exist. So It's going to be a fun, exciting month. I'd love to know what you guys are going to be watching. If you've watched any of these, please no spoilers. But, if you have opinions about them, if you think they're garbage, if you think they're amazing, I think we'd appreciate the heads up. That's always good. We're going to do them. What we do with this is it depends on how the month goes. Like I said, we start first day of fall usually, and we can go through November or so. But, if we get at least 12 to 14 of them in, we usually feel pretty good about that.
Yeah.
I doubt we'll get 20.
It
But we usually like to pick it just in case. Because I know that there is that new Welcome to Derry Pennywise story coming out on HBO, and I know my youngest is obsessed with Pennywise. He's going to want to watch it, and we'll check it out.
I don't think he'll care for the story part.
Yeah, the talking part.
I don't think that'll really
He'll just be like,
jive
can you
for
just show me the kill scenes on YouTube? That'll be my youngest. That's kind of where he's at right now. But we'll see. But I'm excited. It is the first year that Mike Flanagan's not going to be blocking us.
Hijacking the list.
Yeah, with some new Netflix series.
Well, and also we're kind of ending Ed and Lorraine, and that kind of
I got big feels about with The Conjuring is people can say what they think about the movies, but I always say as long as you got those two in the lead roles on The Conjuring, I'm there.
I sell it as I think they're just the sweetest, most romantic.
Well,
couple.
I'm selling it. We're going on date night, guys. Yeah. And I said, you've always said The Conjuring is kind of actually a romance story.
I think it's the sweetest couple. I love them.
Yeah, it's like if I saw those two actors and they were with their real spouses, I'd be like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be together. That's how I feel because they're so good. But yeah,
I don't know, because I also very much like Ed as Owlman, and he'll always be Owlman for me. So.
True. I think he's great. He's great. He's great in Insidious as well.
Yes, which is confusing for me.
For me is Conjuring 1 and 2 awesome. Two of my favorite horror movies ever. 3 kind of missed the mark a little bit. It wasn't bad again with them two. I'm going to love it. But I am hoping this is kind of leaning more. Now, James 1 isn't in control anymore, and I think that might be what's going on here. But sure. I'm hoping this leans more towards 1 and 2. The trailer actually freaked you out in a couple places. Mm-hmm. So you told me you had one of those little babies that stands up and starts walking, those little baby dolls?
I had a baby daddy way or something that could crawl. She didn't talk, though, but she would crawl and then move her
head. That would make it even creepier. Why is a doll talking? It doesn't usually talk.
Right, yeah.
Creepy.
But she would crawl and move her head, and her little piggies would shake.
And then The Long Walk. That's one of my favorite Stephen King books. It's his first book. It's his first book he ever wrote as a teenager. It was just released after.
I thought it was Carrie.
No. That's the first one he released.
Okay.
This is the first book he wrote in high school, released it later as Richard Bachman. But yeah, it's incredible story. So I've heard good things. I've heard good things. It's very, very faithful to the story. The director really, really loves the book. To me, less is more. Don't try to explain it. And it's being directed by the guy who did Hunger Games. So you're already going to get that comparison. It's like, even though Stephen King wrote that story 20 years before she did.
Yeah.
But we have differing opinions on The Long Walk. I thought it was amazing. You thought it was fine.
I thought it was fine. It was fine. I'm interested to see if the movie sways me more. Maybe I was in a different place when I read Long Walk, and now I'll be more beholden to it. But I think it was exactly what I thought it was going to be.
I know not everybody's in the Halloween spirit, the first week of September. I'm in it year round.
Yes, but again, I don't. And that's why we wait for spooky season. I'm not a Halloween
But
girl.
I think kicking it off with a Conjuring movie will probably grease the wheels a little bit, get you a little excited. I'm excited for it.
I love some Ed and Lorraine romance.
They're great. All right, guys, that's what we got right now. If you want to tell us about any of these, hey, drop in the comments, let us know. And
love to see it.
We will talk to you there.